Let's go back to a conversation about the visa validity period in a statement issued by the U.S. Embassy here in Nigeria. We now have Professor Bola Akinterinwa, Professor of International Relations at Achievers University or Ondo State. Thank you, sir, for giving us your time. The federal government has said the latest shift in visa policy is out of place and that it is working to secure a review of the policy. First off, do you believe that will happen? Because we know that the Dubai case is still a conversation. And were you really surprised by this new policy shift from America?
Thank you for the question. The question is quite thought-provoking, but it's expected. It is expected. Donald Trump has a new definition of United States of America. The new United States of America is not predicated on a tripod. When you have a tripod, the likelihood of stability can be ensured. But when it is predicated, built on two pillars, you cannot expect any stability, no matter how it will be very fragile. The two pillars are America first. From America first, he's talking about make America great again. Those are the two pillars. And when you consider these two pillars, impression is wrongly given to humanity, to the international community, that the United States can really be an island unto itself, that the principle of interdependence, which is very critical in international relations, in the conduct and management of international relations, is Donald Trump is trying saying is rubbish. And that, look, the world without the United States is not a world. And that the world of the United States actually is the one everybody should follow. So that has been the policy attitude of the United States.
All right.
And when you now want to translate this policy attitude to policy behavior, now the United States is simply saying, look, if you want to come to our country, this is the condition. If you cannot comply, stay where you are. So this is the policy stand to which all countries of the world should now sit down and think.
All right, let's talk about Nigeria's government's thinking on the subject. They're saying that they're working to review, to have the U.S. review this validity consideration. I'm asking, do you think that they will have headway where others seem to be failing?
The answer is neither yes nor no. The United States policy is transactional. Transactional attitude means, look, you give me something, I give you something. There must be something we gain together. In this case, if Nigeria has anything to offer to make the United States happy, yes, they can have a thorough way. In the absence of that, the answer is no. You see, the statement made by the government of Nigeria in the press release given by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you will see the ambiguity of the press release itself, very ambiguous. On the one hand, the press release explains the concerns, of the government of Nigeria, saying that, look, Nigeria has a long-standing cordial relationship with the United States, and that in terms of citizen diplomacy, there's a very strong people-to-people ties. And indirectly, government is accusing the United States of not recognizing these factors and then saying they are viewing with concerns. Then Nigerian government also said the decision is misaligned. Look at the word misaligned. That's the word used in the press release. It's misaligned with the principles of I think reciprocity, equity, mutual respect.
On the one hand,
those are the principles that will guide bilateral interests.
All right. On the one hand, if the government does not respond, yes, Nigerians will be angry and say that, you know, such a statement was made by the US and the federal government has given no response. And now they've given one and we don't seem to have a lot of faith in it. So my next question might also fall in that category. Because this is now controversy, we understand that most of the affected visas will now be limited to single entry with a 3-month validity period. The UAE has also confirmed that all transit visa applications from Nigerian nationals will no longer be processed. So is Nigeria a target here, or is this just some diplomatic coincidence?
Well, you see, it's a more complex question. But I will quickly remind you the position of Nigeria, which says that Nigeria respectfully, they use the word respectfully, talking to the United States. Why are you respectfully asking US to do XYZ when you are talking about sovereign equality? I'm raising this one in light of your questions that it's not a question of coincidence. There's nothing like coincidence in international diplomatic practice. At the end of the day, governments will seize any good opportunity to make their point, to send messages. If you look at what is happening, they are not saying Nigerians should not come. But by restricting, you know, issuance of visa to 3 months, there are 2 issues there. The validity of the time you are supposed to make use of the visa is one thing, and that is the 3 months. The visa itself, the validity in terms of how many times you can travel to and fro is another. So one single entry, if you don't travel within a period of 3 months, then the visa is invalidated. That's what they are saying. Nigerian government is right by saying Nigerians will carry more of the burden because they are traveling there. But if you look at what the foreign minister of Nigeria, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga, is doing, then you can now say the press release is consistent with the objective of, you know, the diaspora being used as a pillar for achieving, you know, the status of strategic autonomy for Nigeria. Right. It's a very good foreign policy strategic calculation. So by begging the United States in this case, Nigeria is trying to say that, okay, look, let us look at the greater collective interest of the people of Nigeria.
All right,
sir. In which case, let's say they are still negotiating. Yes, but the negotiation will still amount to reciprocity.
All right, let's see what happens with this one.
We have the means.
Yeah.
And that's like,
I'm sorry to interject. You're actually out of time for this conversation, but we're hopeful that something tangible will come out of their efforts. Thank you very much for speaking with us, sir.